This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster, my podcast.
And these are Owlbears.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Another classic. We're on a good run here over these 2 weeks.
This is a classic. I gotta say that, like, this, I am a little sick of this monster too, like less than, demi-human jam, but just kind of like the, what if there was a bear?
Yeah, it's like it's a big dumb aminal, the big dumb aminal.
The aminal that goes down to the library and
and eats a strawberry. Yeah. No, it's a big dumb animal that will do anything to kill you.
Yes, they're super aggressive and mean, and it's just like a bear with an owl's head. And like owls are fucking vicious.
Yes,
like they're cute, but like they're bad animals. Like they're mean and. Like they're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like they are designed to kill as silently and brutally as possible.
Yes, and be ultra protective of like areas that you have no idea that they marked off. Like one of my friend's moms, her boyfriend was walking along and got like part of his scalp ripped off by an owl.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Which like just happens. Like it just happens, dude. Like,
yeah,
because if you go near their young and you don't know it, they will like kind of dive bomb you.
Yeah. Well, I've heard of like hawk attacks for similar reasons, but never an owl. I guess because they're nocturnal.
Yeah. That happens. And I listened to, there's a podcast called Criminal that I listened to, and the first episode is of this guy who is in prison for apparently like beating his wife to death. But there's evidence, and there's like an amateur like criminologist who thinks that he's innocent. And what happened was his wife came in and like the kind of the blunt force trauma to her head was from an owl doing this.
Oh, geez.
And like the evidence is kind of convincing. Like it, who knows, what it is, but
it sounds like such an unlikely story. I would imagine people being skeptical.
Yeah. Like the guy's still in jail, but there are like owl feathers on the scene. Like there's all these like little bits that like support it because they do this. Like it just happens. There's like an interview in that episode with like 2 people who this has happened to.
Yeah.
Like it makes me scared to go out at night because owls might fuck me up. And then if you put a bear body on them.
I'm sorry, Gary. That sentence. I'm scared to go out at night.
Yeah. So, like, fuck teens. Like teens are not scary. A teen's not gonna rip off my scalp. He's just gonna make me feel fat and old. Like
Gary, wait like 5 years. Teens are going to start getting into scalping. Like it used to be planking, then icing. Now, pretty soon, guess what? Scalping.
Yeah, and then they just like taking a picture of it and just posting it on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, year 2020. Guess what? Walking around with necklaces made of ears of their enemies.
Yeah, scalps of their enemies. Yeah. Scalps of their fathers.
Yeah. So you just have to like all it takes is to look at an owlbear and see, oh, a wizard probably did that, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Well, like where are they usually at? Well, a wizard puts them in places where they don't want people to be. Okay. Yeah.
It's a less subtle version of a keep out sign.
Yeah.
Is what it says. Yeah. Owlbears in dungeons and ruins have almost always been placed there by somebody. Yeah. So there's a little bit of like intrigue to that. Like this isn't naturally, the fact that there's an owlbear here isn't natural. Like somebody put it here, who put it here, who has an interest in guarding this, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, you're still just fighting what is mechanically an ogre.
Yeah.
Without a weapon, like just kind of a big, strong, like beast thing.
Yeah. That is too stupid to know to run away.
Yes. Yeah. It sucks they can't be domesticated because I think a baby one would be very cute.
Oh, yeah. Well, but then you have to, when it grows too old, you have to flush it down the toilet.
Yeah. To the Uta yug.
Hello.
Like, yeah. Septic Sam needs to come and eat it. Create an owl pellet. Out of it.
The enzymes won't take care of that.
Yeah. When I moved into this place, the landlord spent like what like was legit. I don't know if I already told you this. Like spent legitimately was probably like 8 real minutes explaining what could and couldn't go into their weird yard compost thing.
Okay.
Like it was very weird, and he's just like, don't put. And he was saying it like he was like, I think that the person who was here before me, or like I think they had like a nephew who lived in this apartment for a little while, who was like kind of a bad teen. He's like, don't put meat in there. Don't put meat bones in there. Like he was saying it like I had already done it. It is very, very awkward.
Just walks out there, looks at the compost, looks back. What did you do?
Yeah, I don't live here yet. Like you haven't given me the keys. I haven't been sneaking here in advance to like prime the compost bin. with my young.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's one of those things that, like, if you have any familiarity with composting, you'd be like, yeah, a fucking course. Okay. Or it's like, oh, huh, I really didn't know that. I think it's either or. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess those are the two reactions.
Yeah. Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.